welcome once again to Let's Talk Marriage. All right. Hope everyone is doing well. If you woke up this morning, guess what? You are doing well. All right. All right, we're going to get right on into our program this morning. Welcome again to 2025. I see the inauguration was the other day. Don't worry, everything is in God's hands. Or God is still in control, so don't worry and fret about that. Anyway, we're going to get right on into our program. Our program today is we're going to be shouting out to all the fathers, husbands, and those that are stepfathers or grandfathers and papas and big papas and all those. We're gonna shout out to them today because it takes a real man to stay around and and be there for his children. Sometimes you have in life you have after everyone is grown, kids change and things change in families, and sometimes you have the families where the kids are not talking to dad or for whatever reason. But you know what? Life is too short for all that. For whatever you went through as a kid, you need to get past those things and move on, and learn to forgive. A lot of people still don't know how to forgive and forget about things, like that as far as being a father or having a father, because there's so many people that don't have a father, or a lot of people that don't even know their father or don't even know of their father. So you have to make sure that we are being there for them, and loving on them, fathers are nowhere near perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect father. So we have to make sure that we are there for them, because they're, when it comes down to it, if you think about it, they're always there for you, always try to be there for you. The ones that try, of course you have the ones that don't. We're not talking about them, we're talking about the ones that try, and also shout out to our families, because that's a very important part of the ministry. When you have a church, if you have families there, your church can thrive and prosper. And a lot of times the enemy has been, coming against families and fathers and things of that nature. So make sure that we are supporting each other, in this Christian walk, because sometimes we make it hard as Christians. I always say, being saved is not hard. We make it hard. We make a lot of things in our life hard. We make our jobs hard because we don't like them. If you don't like your job, pray and ask the Lord to give you another job, and and move on. Don't just sit there and be miserable just because the money is good. Because a lot of times that's not everything. Sometimes we'll stay at a job because the money is good. I remember back in the day, I made a move and went to a job that paid more money. And I thought because I went to the job that would pay more money, it would be, I would, like it or whatever. But the job that paid more money was a lot worse than the one that paid less, but I had more peace at the job that didn't pay as much. And, when I got to the job that paid more, it was a nightmare, and you don't need to be stressed, A lot of times these jobs will stress you out, especially as men. That's why we're shouting out to the men this afternoon, because a lot of times they work these jobs and, they don't, like them, or it's not that they don't like them, they're very stressful, And when you have these stressful jobs, a lot of times you take that home. I had a rule when I was in the workforce, before I retired. I had a rule that I didn't bring anything from work home. I never brought those things home. And a lot of times my wife be saying, "Oh, how was your day? What happened at work?" And if, you know what I would do is I would always mention the positive things. Like if I had a customer that came in, because I work with the public. If I had a customer that came in and they were pleasant and they were encouraging, I would always mention that. And a lot of times I wouldn't try not to mention all the negative things that went on at the job. There was sometimes I did talk about it, but not that often. I wouldn't bring it on, with an attitude because something bad happened at work. So that's why it's very important, especially you young kids that are, uh, following your dad's footsteps or looking up to your dads and any father figure in your life. Make sure that you don't go into the field that they're in just because they like it. It might not be the field for you. So that's why you have to make sure that you think about it, especially young people. Really think hard about what you want to be in life, and set those goals and make those goals as to what you want to obtain, what you want to be in life. And make sure you pick a field, not because it make a lot of money or you think it make a lot of money. Make sure you pick a field that you're going to like and you're going to enjoy doing. One thing I can say about my wife, the field that she's in, she's always wanted to be in it, and she always enjoyed. Sometimes, of course, in any job it gets stressful, especially if you're working with deadlines and things like that. But for the most part, it was the field that she chose, and she loves it. And she's always wanted to be in that field, even as a teenager. So those are the things that you want to make sure you do. And a lot of times you can sit down and talk to your father or any father figure, and ask them, what they do. Do they like it? First of all, and make sure you discuss those things. That's another reason why our fathers are so important, and we're shouting out to them, because a lot of times they take the lead on what church you're going to, or they should be taking the lead on what church to go to, and getting everybody up in the morning for services. And usually the dad is the first one ready to go, and that's how it should be. And we have to have respect for our fathers out there, the ones that are doing good or trying. A lot of times your father's not going to be rich. He's not going to be able to give you everything you want, and that's a lot of times what a lot of our young people, they ain't talking to him. I asked him for $20, he wouldn't give it to us. How you know what his situation? You can't be in his pockets. You don't know what he's got. I'm pretty sure if he had it, he would have given it to you. And sometimes, we get mad about things like that, and be mad at our dads for years, and that's that's not right. Because again, life is so short. So we should really be reaching out to our fathers and staying in touch with them, especially if you are children, because he's the eldest. You make the move to stay in touch with him, because most of the time the doors are always open. It's just a matter of our children being there or opening that door and going through that door to keep the lines of communication open. These are the things we have to think about as being parents and fathers, and make sure we pray for shout out. We say in the program to shout out to our fathers, but make sure we are praying for our families, because again, they are the backbone of our churches, a part of the foundation, because there's a lot of things that go into the foundation to build a church, build a ministry, and part of that foundation is the family. Major part of it, or important part of the foundation to build a church, is the families. That's why the enemy always come against families, and see a lot of things happening within families. So we're going to lift them up in prayer and keep them in our prayers today. And I hope everyone is having a wonderful time this new year with the cold weather. Hope everyone stay warm. Make sure you stay warm. Check on your relatives. Make sure that they're warm, and excuse me. Make sure we're checking on our relatives and making sure that they are warm and safe, especially our elderly parents and things like that. Make sure we check on them and make sure they have the things that they need because the weather's been pretty cold. Even in the South, the weather is cold. People in Atlanta saying they got snow in Atlanta, and that's highly unusual to get snow down in Atlanta. So it's been pretty cold. So make sure you stay warm, stay in, stay in. Don't let the cold weather keep you out of church. Make sure you just go to church, and especially if you go to a church where the services are not that long. Make sure you at least on Sundays. You know, I can understand like doing a week with work and kids in school and everything. But make sure you go there on Sunday mornings and show your face in the place and be there and be supportive of your churches. If you're a member of a church, make sure you support that church. And it's not necessarily always about money. We think when we say support the church, if you don't have a lot of money, you don't want to go, oh, I ain't got no money, I ain't going to church. That's not why you go to church. You don't go to church because you got money to put in the offering plate. If you don't have money to put in the offering plate, oh well, go anyway. Because that's what fuels you during the week for the upcoming week and keeps you encouraged. Make sure we are encouraging each other. We can't encourage each other enough. Say something positive to someone for a change instead of always saying negative. So if you ever have a friend or something that or you knew someone that was always negative about everything. Oh, this is that. Oh, that's that. You know, you go see a movie together. They got to be negative. You enjoy the movie, but they come out, oh, that's terrible. But then make sure that you stay positive. Again, life is so short, and things just happen. There's so many things that are happening, and so many people that did not make it to 2025, and you're here. So think about that. You are here, and you're blessed, and God is there with you. And we have to remember those things and think about those things. And again, we're lifting up our fathers and husbands and pastors and grandfathers and uncles and all those men or male figures in your life. We're lifting them up in prayer because a lot of times they go through things that or have stress levels that you don't think about or don't consider. So we're going to make sure that we keep them in our prayers and, and just hold them up in your prayers and ask the Lord to look after them and keep them in your hearts, in your minds, and, and the peace of God will cross all barriers and all negativity. Just kick it out of your life and stay positive in this life, and God will bless you. Even though you might be going through something or having a hard time within your family, just hang on in there. This is Pastor Larry. We're going to be signing off, and we hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We're going to be continue praying for our uplifting our fathers and husbands and all those. We're going to be uplifting them. And we pray that they do the right thing. We pray that they always stay in touch with you and stay in tune with the Lord. And any troubles or any questions or any tasks or any kind of things that coming in their way, we pray that they get the understanding from the Lord and make sure that they hang on in there and don't give up. Fathers, don't give up. Don't stop going to church. Make sure you continually go in church, because when you go to church, that opens you up to receive things of the Lord, and it opens you up to be more susceptible to what God has for you. This is Pastor Larry. We're going to be signing off until we meet again. And shout out to our fathers. God bless you. All right. Also, we want to take this opportunity to invite you out to our services at New Zion Christian Center. We're located at 15014 South Displain Street in Plainfield, Illinois. Our services begin Sunday morning at 11 a.m. See you in the place.